August 2025, a group of animators from all over Europe come together to explore a new format for animation teaching.
My name is Adele.
Alexia.
Aris Vakalis.
My name is Eileen Kammer.
Eloy.
Henrik Bakker Rasmussen.
Taylor.
Emma Tiborbi.
I'm Patrick.
Nikolai Chelakov.
I am Joey Tran.
Marin.
Melene.
Georgia.
My name is Leapa.
Marceau Fougeron.
So my name is Malte.
I'm from Italy.
What drives these people to want to become animators?
My whole life, I've always visualized things, making a description of every little micro movement, because in my head, I'm watching it.
I wanted to be an artist, you know, but I wanted to have a job. It's creativity and also technical. Yeah, that's it.
I really like to see that character be transformed on screen and have life.
And like my goal was always to make some people laugh or to create a little joke.
Animation is a wonderful and poetic art form and among the most expensive. Animated film and TV series reaches large international audiences. To produce animation on that level is an industrial, creative and artistic process. The work requires strong teamwork skills, a powerful imagination and readiness for the constant technological change in production and distribution. And this demands a very high level of professionalism from animators. But is European animation education truly preparing students for the work market?
Yeah, there was a gap between what the school was teaching us and all the industry all around.
When I went into my internship for the first time, I just realized that I knew nothing about it.
When you get on a project, you suddenly realize even though you had a good education, there is so much you're missing.
Schools really have to be at the front line of where the industry is going. These young people are coming out into the industry and they're going to be, one day I'll be taking orders from one of them.
There is obviously a gap between the art school education and the industrial reality that the graduates have to perform in. What is the problem? What are the educations doing wrong or not doing?
When we're in class, it's more about working on our own shots, and we only do personal stuff for our own demo reel.
I know multiple schools around Europe and around the world where every student is graduating like a director, and they're all credited as a director of the short film.
And the one thing that goes above everything else is to get professionals that's currently in the industry to teach students. Because it's not relevant to have someone who's only teaching for years tell you how the industry is. It is so much more relevant to have someone who's in it right now and they can tell you what's currently happening.
There was no one to really give me an input or hey, what you're doing is gonna mess up a lot of things down the line.
The gap between industry and education is growing. Something needs to change. PANEURAMA created this innovation lab to explore how the teaching of animators can mirror industrial reality. The aim is to inspire animation schools to reflect on their methods, structures and programs. When young people choose education, they choose a path in life with an implicit promise of economic security. So the formative years of learning are decisive for everything that follows. This film is about process and result of the Innovation Lab new animated drama.
A lot of young animators are all put into one room, and we were put together in 3 different groups, and all of the groups have their own little sequence to work on.
This is almost like a simulation of a real production.
We're replicating a bit more of an industry standard where, no, they do have a schedule, they have a deadline. I'm expecting to see things at certain checkpoints during the 2 weeks. And I can see them, enjoying that sort of breath of reality.
The Innovation Lab was designed as an industrial simulation led by a single experienced animation director, Daniel Calaby.
Hi, I'm Daniel Calaby.
Daniel brings more than 20 years of experience from the European animation industry. For the lab, Daniel defined the full production framework, selecting the team, assigning roles, shaping how groups should think and work together, and ensuring overall quality control.
So we came up with the idea of doing 3 small short films. Every step has been a sort of collaborative effort where we've had script writers come in, we've had voice actors come in, we've then constructed these little films, handed them off to 20-odd students, and dividing them into 3 teams, and in a sense letting them direct the piece itself, with me sort of supervising the animation part and quality control and that sort of keeping a continuity. But it is really in their hands where they wanted to take the characters, what elements they wanted to push in the film. We spent a good deal of effort making sure that everything was well prepared for the students, for when they arrived they could focus on one thing and one thing alone, acting. I
really like these small, more technical workshops where you get like one shot to animate, completely like taken out of any context, because like that teaches you the technical part, which is great, but you have to learn the communication in a group, you have to learn how to think in a sequence.
For this course, we found it extremely important to have creative collaboration between the artists, as you would have on a professional setup.
There were like different opinions on how the character like hears to a different person, or like what the character is, or who the character is. But I think we really managed to debate about that in a respectful manner, and came up with a good solution.
People kind of can let go of the technical part, at least for the beginning of the process, and let them go in on a journey to find the creative core of a shot, and then worry about the technicalities later.
Animation takes a lot of time, so you need to be rock solid about where you're going with this. Meaning, in this specific team, there was 8 of us. If 8 persons start animating without having made it crystal clear what we're doing with this, the character is going to be all over the place. Like, we all going to take different direction. I'm not even talking in terms of like expression, but just in terms of story arc. And at the core of it, I'm really happy if my shot is looking great, but if it's a great looking shot in a sequence that doesn't make sense together, what's the point? So like taking some time to actually make sure everyone not only understood the character, but also had the opportunity to bring what they saw this character would be, or like what the story arc would be, was a great way, 1, to make sure everyone is on board with the same thing, and 2, to actually make it our own storyline.
Everybody had inputs to how we saw the development of the scene.
Everyone has different experiences, and I really loved gathering all the inputs and writing notes and have that feeling of being on the same page.
For me, the most interesting thing here was to like work with your reference and then find where this reference takes you, and find these little bits which make it interesting and where you didn't think of before.
We helped each other directing in the reference.
So it was very interesting to first leave the reference by acting it myself, and then actually directing someone else to do it. So it was a great way to like spend more time on reference with a team around me that I could actually use as multiple actors for the same shot.
By mixing students and professionals, I think we managed to create a particularly fruitful and supportive learning environment.
I think the biggest difference between this innovation lab and normal education is the mix between students and professionals, because I think it gives this really nice environment where the students can learn a lot faster, because they can ask questions not only to the teacher but also to other people in the group that has a little bit of experience in the industry. And I think it opens this nice window for them to ask questions to other juniors, because it's a lot of questions that can feel silly when you're a student. You might be a little bit afraid to ask, but when there's someone who's just entered the industry, they're sort of on the same page, but we have a little bit more to give in that sense.
When it's your peers that haven't been working for super long, because it's a whole other level of exchange. When you talk to someone who's been in the industry for, 3 months, a year, they're gonna come up to you and be like, I found out all these things that I never knew, and they're gonna give you a rundown. And I feel like that's really nice.
And again, emulating studio standards by having a concrete and non-negotiable deadline.
We are always going against time, so that puts a bit of pressure.
We're running it like a production in 2 weeks, creating short films. There are deadlines. Each person has their section of work to complete. Other people are relying on them for their section being done. They have enough work that nobody can really take over somebody else's, so they have an incentive to make it function as a team and to keep helping each other along. Because if one person fails, that means there's a hole in the movie, so that can't happen. The stakes are kind of high. Instead of the course being run by a teacher, it's being run by a professional director, in this case me. This is an industrial setup where we've tried to emulate the workspace environments of an actual studio.
Very unique use of blue. 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 Very unique use of blue.
But at the end of the day, this is still a learning experience for them, so we're not going to fire them, I find it to be a very healthy mix where they are both sort of jockeying for deadlines, but at the same time sharing and learning and still in an ability to sort of absorb new methods of working and learning from everybody else. I think it is a great melting point. I think universities should maybe consider doing these sort of more intense workshops towards a project.
Also, with having mentors that's currently in the industry, you're also starting to build up a network of knowing people and better chances for work. Not that they will necessarily directly hire you, but they will know what kind of projects are going on, and you will get to know people through them as well.
I think I would really like to also bring this back to school and also have people learn about this approach, because I think there's a really big benefit.
It's a big positive change. It's really fun, it's really stimulating. It's my first time working with animators in the same room, and it's really fun to have an instant feedback on your animation, and it's really fun to see what others are working on next to you. So I've been having a lot of fun.
On that note, we will end our reportage about the Innovation Lab new animated drama. It was clearly a positive and formative experience for the participants. Let's end by seeing one of the films that they made.
Very unique use of blue.
Totally. I love the way it makes me feel. Very blue. I mean, melancholy.
Oh, I know, right? Blue turns you blue.
That red shape is interesting too.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same.
What a talent. What's his name again? Pierre Louis Leguillou?
Oh, he's French.
Oh, makes sense.
Oh.